Hello and welcome to another episode of King's Crossing. This is going to be episode 26. We're titling this one The Morning After. So if you guys didn't catch episode 24, we had a Gnimwirt's Wild Ride. Well, it's kind of Gnimwirt's and Adarag's Wild Ride. They both had a wild ride. The slip and slide. I don't know I don't remember. Oh, I think I called it the drink or something.
Into the drink,
back from the drink. I don't remember what I called it. But anyways, they were out at sea, and they were lost a lot longer than they thought. They were out there overnight, kind of when they were drifting and everything, and they're coming back and it's morning, and they're drifting back up onto the beach here. But before we dive into it, quick announcement, or quick introduction to my players. I have Toughnuts playing as Gnimwirt, and I have Adaece playing as Adarag.
Ahoy.
So yeah, you guys, Toughnuts, you had something you wanted to talk about with last session?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was just saying before we started here, last session was great because, well, one, it was kind of unplanned for us to go do that adventure because the other party took our quests, I've learned, and we ended up doing theirs because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what was cool about that is our characters, Adarag and Gnimwirt, have really been stuck in town a lot because we suck at like fighting and like exploring. We're good at like, well, we're relatively good at like working with people and like building and constructing and that kind of stuff. But we've been intimidated by leaving, and this was a good opportunity for us to go do something adventurous and active, but not just get screwed over by like 100 monsters killing us or something. Like it was fun and interesting and something we could tackle and use our skills for, which was fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good time, and you guys made it back alive.
Even better.
Yes.
A little wet, but alive. So just a quick recap for anyone who didn't catch it. There was rumors of basically the town has fallen under a deep sickness. There was rumors that a magical sea beast had been spotted that might have healing properties. They decided to go out with the fishermen, Frankie and Hopkins, to go hunt this fish down. Trying to hunt it down proved to be a bit of a challenge, but they got it hooked. Went on a wild ride following this thing, being towed by it. Gnimwirt was in and out of the water. Adarag was a champion at the helm, keeping the boat afloat and not losing grip. And while they did lose the sea beast in the end, they managed to capture one of its scales. Hopkins had succumbed to the sickness and fallen under the weather. Frankie seems no worse for wear. Adarag found a journal from the previous occupants of this boat. Yeah, I think that's where we're picking up. So you guys float back in to the beach. The boat gets, latched back onto the dock there, and Frankie kind of helps secure it, and then he goes over to it, picked up Hopkins and hauled him off to the little fishing hut where they snuck inside. You guys step off the boat. You're now standing on the wharf outside of Arwin's Rest. What would you like to do?
Well, first I'd like to address Gnimwirt.
What,
sir? I'm
I'm muting myself.
Well done. Oh, sir, I'm sorry for getting us lost out there on the way back. It's my mind was a bit troubled at the moment. But maybe you can help me with something. I feel like I need to start asking for more help from my friends, and I'd consider you one. I found this journal drifting, about to fall off the boat, and I can't read it. Would you be able to translate it and decipher it for me?
Okay. Yeah, I take the book, and at this point I'm exhausted, I'm soaked, and I just kind of pat Adarag on the back kind of trying to comfort him a little bit, and I'll open the book.
Upon opening the book, you're greeted by these journal entries scrawled across the pages. It looks like there was maybe some entries in between them. They've been either ripped out or waterlogged. But these are the entries you can make out from it. A total of basically 4 entries, and then a final one that's written in a different hand script.
Calligraphy?
No, different handwriting. Hand script.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Hand script, yes.
That's what it's called.
Uh-huh.
All right, Adarag. Do you want me to read this here on the dock, or should we go get some food and meat at the tavern and read it there, do you think?
I think I need something to drink.
Okay.
Maybe you can digest it and give me the Spark Notes version.
Okay. So I'll close it, and do I have a way to access that in the future?
Yeah, you should. It should be under in the journal tab under lore. Do you see journal? I think I gave you guys access to it. Okay, so there it is.
Okay. Yeah, so I close it, and where are Hopkins and Frankie?
They are in the fishing hut.
Okay. If I remember right, we told Frankie to watch after Hopkins.
You did.
Yeah.
Last time. Okay. So we'll head up to the tavern then.
Okay. Do you guys mind just showing me which path you take?
Yeah, sure. So over to Hobbs Lodge.
I think we would go. Can you watch my mouse?
Yep.
So coming up here,
Mm-hmm.
and then coming down,
Mm-hmm.
and then cutting over,
Okay.
and coming down,
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, all right. For everyone watching, I know my handwriting's atrocious. I made this map in like 5 minutes. Just piss off. For reference, these like squiggle marks around Hobbs Lodge, this is showing that its elevation, it's up a hill, so Hobbs Lodge is on a higher elevation. I know that's how all the real maps do it, so yeah, you can see I'm very professional. So you can see like this ruin's up on a hill, Elder Arlene's house up on a hill. That's what that kind of shows. All right. The only difference is these ones here. This is going downhill, so the ocean is out here to the west, and it is like at a lower elevation than the town.
Got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way to Hobbs Lodge, and as you guys do, you guys move through town, just realizing how eerily quiet it is. No kids out playing in between houses. There's no people, wheeling carts through the mud. There's no people walking out of Hobbs Lodge. And as you guys pass, I mean, your town is kind of a ghost town. The only roll awareness, both of you, is going to be at a routine check.
Routine.
First roll of the session. Let's go, big money. Actually, preferably little money. Hey, successes both times. The only sound of life comes from the resting place, which is kind of the altar nature place where Adaece usually hangs out. Kind of the holy site of town. But beyond that, even coming on the road, you guys don't hear anything from Hobbs Lodge. It sounds quiet.
Where is the resting place you were talking about?
Here.
Okay. I'm taking notes as we go, sorry.
Mm-hmm. You're good. Adaece? Excuse me. Adarag?
Adarag? Yeah, so... So I think Adarag's going to be, like, looking around and realizing how, like, desolate and dead it is. Sir, I think that the sickness might be the more pressing matter. Without people, I don't think even the best of our plans to try to get people to evacuate will be fruitless without the people in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to find Bjorn or someone who can use this scale or tell us, next steps to tackle the sickness.
I
Needs to be top priority.
agree. And then I think Adarag is going to just start walking up into Hop's Lodge.
Gnimwirt?
Yeah, followed closely by me.
Okay. Moving inside Hobbs Lodge. You guys step in. But instead of the normal lively scene of the roaring fire, the heat blasting out, the ruckus from the kitchen, the murmur of the locals, there's no one sat in here. No one behind the bar. There's no sound from the kitchen. The fire, you can see, it's the remainder of what was built yesterday. What was once a glorious rendition of the town set ablaze, now is just smoldering embers. The main floor here is empty. What do you guys do?
Adarag is going to make his way towards the kitchen area to look back there to see if Griff's around.
Yeah, opening up the door, peeking your head back, you see it's the usual mess, pots, pans everywhere. No Griff.
I see mise en place is a foreign thing here.
What?
All right.
I didn't catch that.
I don't know.
Mise en place?
Yeah, everything has its place. It's a term in French cooking of how you're
Ooh.
supposed to set all the ingredients out before you start cooking with them.
Okay, right, yeah. Adarag is obviously the French culinary. Makes sense. We're learning a lot about Adarag. Back home,
Oh, one or two trips around what is the equivalent of this world's French Riviera?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah.
That place.
That place,
That DLC hasn't come out yet.
Sir,
I
I don't think Gamewood's here.
Yeah, I agree. See if you can grab a drink for both of us, and then I'll see if I can get the fire started. I think we shouldn't stay here long, though, and we need to keep moving on trying to figure out this sickness thing.
Well, sounds like a plan to me. I'll get the drinks, you get the fire going, and I'll in the meantime, go ahead and take a look at that journal and see what we're dealing with. And Adarag's going to go around to the back of the bar and find some cleanish mugs and start pouring some drinks.
Absolutely. You're easily able to find them, easily able to start pouring. Meanwhile, Gnimwirt, you're wanting to get the fire going again?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, normally this would be a survival check. I think I had you roll tradecraft last time as you were building a fire. I'm going to have you do this. Either you can engineer a fire, and it'll out in the wilderness. I'm going to make it a survival check. Here, I'll allow it to be your tradecraft only because it's already set up ready for a fire. It'd be a difficult thing to do.
Okay.
Either that, or you could always, I guess, make it a survival easy check or whatever. But either way, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. You go to make a fire, but you notice that firewood hasn't been stockpiled here in a while. However, plenty of old chairs and table legs and scraps you could throw in there and set ablaze.
Sure. If it's clearly broken and not being used, I'll use it.
It's some that you're like, this would probably break soon.
Okay, sure.
You can make him new chairs later.
I can. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we need a little bit of comfort, so I'm doing it.
Okay. You're getting the fire going. Adarag, you're able to come over with 2 tankards of house malt ale.
Here you are, sir. Well, what does that journal say? And he takes a sip.
Yeah, so rather than trying to digest it and put it in my own words, I think it's probably best if I just tell it to you straight what it says. So here we go. Entry 1. Today marks the beginning of our journey away from the Starforge Academy of Science. Atlas
Hey.
and I have decided.
That's where
What's
we're
that?
from.
Yes.
Well, you're from.
Well, yeah, you too. But anyways, Atlas and I have decided to leave behind the confines of our old life and seek adventure in the unknown lands beyond. I can see the excitement in Atlas's eyes as we set sail towards Arwin's Rest, a remote town nestled in the heart of the Freelands. Despite the uncertainties that lie ahead, I'm grateful for the opportunity to explore the world with my brother by my side.
So this is Atlas's brother, then.
It appears so. That's who's putting the entry in.
Well,
You and I
Frankie
both have.
Hopkins.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was going to say you and I both have our opinions on who Atlas was and what he was doing here, so this will be interesting.
And I do remember Frankie and Hopkins saying that that Atlas did come with one other hooded figure. Didn't really catch who they were, but I suppose that were his brother.
Yeah, let's keep reading. So, entry 2. As we make our way towards Arwin's Rest, I cannot shake the feeling of unease that grips me. Atlas's behavior has become increasingly erratic, and I fear that something dark may be stirring within him. Pray that our journey will bring us the answers we seek and that we may find solace in the safety of our new home.
So he
It
wasn't
seems
always like this?
it appears not, and it appears his brother was concerned with the change.
Well.
Can't help but see Wrath's smile. All right,
Well.
entry 3. What's that, Adarag?
No, I was just going to say continue.
Okay. Entry 3. We've arrived in Arwin's Rest, a quaint town steeped in history and mystery. Despite the warm welcome we received from its inhabitants, I cannot shake the sense of foreboding that hangs heavy in the air. Atlas insists that we must make haste in securing provisions for our new life here, but I cannot help but feel the danger lurks just beyond the horizon.
So they went to go grab provisions then.
Yeah, and if my memory serves correct, that boat wasn't here when we got here. They arrived after us, right?
No, I believe that Frankie and Hopkins had already made the trade, and it was just sitting in the harbor there when we came in.
Okay. So I wonder how long they had been here. We could ask Frankie if that becomes important.
Well, especially because we know that Atlas was there before we arrived, because he was the one who caused the fire in the trade district.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll keep going. Entry 4. Something is amiss in Arwen's Rest. Strange occurrences plague the town, and whispers of dark forces at work linger in the shadows. Atlas grows more distant with each passing day, consumed by his own inner turmoil. I fear that he may be in grave danger, but I know not how to help him. I must tread carefully, for the safety of my brother and our newfound home hangs in the balance. Things
So,
are getting dire for them, it sounds like.
aye, and it seems like Atlas was maybe not of his own volition at that point.
I have 2 questions so far. One
Aye.
is, why was this affecting only Atlas and not his brother? What was unique about Atlas? And then the second was, this seems to be, if you read through the entries, this was taking effect on Atlas even before they arrived at Arwen's Rest.
Aye.
I feel like that's important. Even on the ship on the way in, something was going on in his head.
Aye.
What was it? anyways.
Well, it appears that leaves us with more questions than answers. Anything else it says?
There's one final entry, and this one, it looks it's a lot harder to read. But I think I can make it out. Final entry, it says, hi there, my name is Dibs.
Ah,
My,
Dibs.
my
What does he do with
dad,
this journey?
my dad, he's Atlas. Oh my,
Wait.
okay. He's been through a lot, you know. He's really sorry for all the stuff he did before. I'm writing this for him because he's not so good with words sometimes. But he promised me he's gonna make things right. He's gonna find the bad guy who made him do those things and stop him. My dad's really brave, and I know he's gonna do it because he's my hero. So, if you find this, please tell everyone that my dad's a good guy now, okay? Thanks.
Hmm. So, Dibs got a hold of this journal, which tells me that something happened to Atlas's brother. Or
Yes.
sibling. I guess it never really stated whether it was a male or female viewpoint. I was
No,
assuming it
brother.
was. Brother?
All right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Atlas is the brother, but I don't know if it's a male or female. But I will say, why is Dibs saying Atlas is his dad?
Hmm. Well,
We saw Atlas.
and we saw him shift into a dragon.
So maybe his human form was the off form and he's legitimately a dragon.
Ugh. Your guess is as good as mine, sir.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know where to start. Maybe he was a normal dragon, if that's such a thing. I'm not well versed in dragon, but maybe he was a dragon that got corrupted or something, and I don't know. I don't know if we have time to dig into this too deep right now because I'm concerned about the sickness, but definitely something to ruminate on over the next few days.
I agreed. Well, and Adarag pounds the rest of his beer. Well, last we heard, Bjorn made his way north to Granny Evelyn. So I suppose that's the direction we head.
Yeah, I think we need one of their help at least. I heard a sound coming from the resting place, and isn't that where Adaece used to hang around?
I believe, actually, I believe you're right. And matter of fact, Adaece might be the perfect person if we're in need of a healer.
Let's just swing by there on our way and see if anyone's there.
Sounds like a plan. You done with that?
I pound it because I've been talking the whole time.
Choke, 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 choke. Yeah, all right. And then Adarag's going to take the two mugs and take them over to the bar top area. He's going to look. Is there like a sink or something like that?
Yes, there's
One more bar.
two sinks. One has dirty water in it. One is empty.
Adarag is going to kind of look at the dirty water and just kind of set them next to the the sink area.
It's like up here though.
Yeah. He can't see over the counter, so he's just
Yeah,
like,
I can't see.
You're not.
He feels over the top. He like feels the water. Brings his hand
Nah.
down. It's dirty, and he just like sets it to the side.
Yeah, the counter's about like here on you.
Okay.
You're just like, yeah.
Right.
So you guys go to head out.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You guys have caught some warmth, got some ale in your bellies. I'm gonna need a resolve check from both of you as you step back outside at challenging difficulty.
Resolve. Challenging.
Gnimwirt 34 out of 36. Adarag 62 out of 35. Gnimwirt, as you guys step outside and the daybreak is kind of hitting Adarag's skin, you see that he's pale as fuck. I could probably describe that better. His skin has turned ghastly white. Be a proper DM here. But otherwise, he still has that rasp and that cough in his throat. And if I remember right, Gnimwirt, you have a constant like phlegm and like sinus sniffle going on. Yeah. As you guys step out, yeah, not yet. As you guys step outside, it continues. A light, very light drizzle comes down from the sky. Continual overcast. The swamp rains on. What do you guys do?
We're gonna head over and check out the resting place that we were hearing stuff from.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Heading west, you guys head up to the resting place, where you hear. Basically, as you guys step into the resting place, you hear something as you're coming up into it, and it becomes more and more clear as you come in. Oh, Nibria, goddess of the drink and fucker of soberness, bless us against the divine spirits, won't you? Keep this fleeting sickness at bay. Fucking cleanse it from our system. Oh, hi, boys. As you see Adaece, mid-drink from her ashen mug, pacing around the resting place, a single tree grows from the resting place, some ancient oak, flowers kind of line the area. It's actually a pretty pleasant spot, seems to be kept in decent order. The earthy toned dressed woman, a gown, brown and orange, dirty all across the hem from walking through the mud of Arwin's Rest. Her hair not, the manicured and taken care of. It's more wet and kind of wild. She looks more like a wild druid at this point than a, put together cleric and priestess. Her gown drenched. She kind of raises the mug and takes another swig, and she goes, "Good to see you two, boys. What are you doing here?"
Alright, we're not interrupting anything, are we?
What? She looks around. Why, what's going on?
Oh, you seem to be in the middle of something, but, well, we actually could use your help.
My help?
Aye.
Not much help now, but sure. What can I do for you?
Well, you see, I believe you've seen how sickly this this city has gotten.
Kind of hard to miss it.
Well, we're wondering if you might be able to help us with fancying a cure.
No natural cure for this one, honey. This is what happens when nature says fuck you. You piss it off enough, it bites back.
Has this happened before in Arwin's Rest?
I don't know. I'm not from here.
So not while you've been here, though.
No. Yet, no. Probably not. Unless I missed it, but I highly doubt it. Probably.
So, Mr. DMs. Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Adaece, have you seen Bjoern, the bear?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where was he?
I saw him at Arwin's Rest. No, well, yes. I saw him at Hobbs Lodge. Was it 2 nights ago? I think.
That was about when we saw him.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys were there.
Yeah, we're
Alright.
trying to track him down to help with the sickness.
Oh, have I seen him recently? No, I just thought you meant, like, have I seen him ever? I did.
No, we're trying to find him.
Mr. DM, sir.
Is it like a game? Yes.
Would Adarag, seeing as, like, we've kind of established his past as kind of a trader, he's been in the area once or twice. Would Adarag have any prior knowledge of a sickness coming through the, or heard anything on his travels of sickness going through the town?
Roll folklore.
Yeah.
And because you've
I'd
been in the
like
area
to try-
before, routine.
Routine.
I was gonna say I'd like to try to understand if Adaece seems to be drinking sorrows away, or if she's like, if this is like normal for her, like trying to understand her motive behind being drunk and doing this.
Absolutely. Give me a scrutinize check. I believe this is exactly where scrutinize is going to come in. Not that one. That one.
I don't see scrutinize.
It's alphabetical. You actually have it trained.
Oh, it's on the right. Okay. I don't think I've used these much.
On the right? You have a different character sheet?
Oh, maybe it's because it's. Oh, I didn't have it pulled big enough, so.
Oh, I was like, wait.
Wait.
What do you mean it's on the
What?
right? I was like, do you guys have a different character sheet than what I see? I was about to be really confused. Adarag, you have never heard of this happening here before. Gnimwirt, possibly both. She seems at home. This is kind of her natural habitat in this area. You know that she's the goddess of the drink. Basically, every time you've run into her, she's had a drink in hand. Serves the goddess of the drink. I don't know what I said, but and then from what you could tell of her little sermon she was preaching out, or whatever you want to call it, it seems to be something along the lines of, I'm kind of powerless at this point. Like, there's not much I can do, so hopefully someone helps.
Okay.
Both?
Okay.
Well then, Adaece, do you know if it's not?
Oh, you're still here. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. If you don't believe that this is something that can be cured by natural means, then how do you think it is something we could?
I suppose that depends on what you mean by natural means, because it probably could.
Then
Naturally.
Naturally, there would be some sort of tincture or brew, perhaps, that might be able to cure something.
Maybe. That seems more man-made. The sickness isn't man-made, so maybe the medicine isn't either.
So this is a divine curse of sorts.
I highly doubt that. I feel like I would know if it was.
I bet that's true.
I think. Unless... No.
Speak your mind.
You've given me something to think about, and maybe, once I'm drunk enough, I'll have to go investigate that. If I find something, I would like to speak with you two again in the future. And then, I can share what I found, and we can get to the bottom of this. Top of
We'll
this?
be back then.
I believe bottom's the right phrase that you were looking for.
Bottom. Ah! To the bottom! And she starts down in her mug.
Well, Adaece, we'll be back to figure that out, but for now, we're gonna go try to find Bjoern. If you see him, tell him we're looking for him.
Haven't seen him since the other night, so I don't think he's been at Hobbs Lodge, because I was there and I was the only one.
Okay. Yeah,
Well, we
thank
we kept the fire going if you need a place to warm up. It's right cold out here.
She kind of takes in a deep breath and reaches out her hands, mug sloshing around still, even though you just saw her down it, sloshes drink. She kind of looks to the sky and she goes, No, it's better. It's better this way.
Understandable. Well, before we go...
Adarag, we need to keep moving. What's that? Before
we go, you mind if I get a swig of that? Pointing to Adecelyn's mug.
She sounds like a Minecraft person. She goes, Do you have a cup?
I believe I do. Let me check my items.
Well, he checks that real quick. Shout out to ToughNuts TV with the subscription. Thank you for that. Also, Anime Freak 473. Thank you for following us on YouTube.
Yeah. So I do have a snifter of brandy. So I could probably finish that and use that.
You're like, what? Okay. Sure. Let's go ahead and roll for me. A toughness, I believe it is. Let's see. Toughness check, please, sir.
Toughness. All right.
Toughness check.
Toughness check.
Everybody fails this.
Wow.
Yeah, Adarag really fails that.
You down yours, and you hold it out, and she pours some in, and you down that, and Adarag wobbles, pukes, looks up, and just falls backwards onto his back. Huh. She kind of looks at her mug, and she goes, I may have given him too much.
Yeah. What's in that thing?
Alcohol, I thought.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to Adarag. I'm gonna pull out some royal water and put that in his mug and help him drink that. It says it's medicine as a category.
Some royal water, yeah, you did.
So I'm hoping that helps.
Right. I know what that is. Let's see. I just saw it on your character sheet. Where'd it go? Royal water.
It just says Orc's Molt.
Orc's Molt, yeah. Interesting. Nothing else about it. Alright, for now, mark it off your character sheet. Okay. We're gonna improvise in this one, because I don't have the book open like I should, and we'll look it up later. You pour this royal water over his face. Adarag, it's like you're drunk and someone put you in a cold shower. And so you kind of come to. You're very much still tipsy and drunk and inebriated, but you're awake and conscious.
Okay. Back to a more conscious state, I would like to take one of my antivenoms. Or actually, no, that wouldn't be anti-venom. That would be more of a poison. So,
yeah, I was like, you haven't been poisoned by venom. I don't...
Alcohol poisoning.
That's not the same.
He tries to start going for the anti-venom.
He's drunk. He's like, no, I'm sick. I'm poisoned.
No. You don't need this. You don't need this.
You then realize it was actually folks' bane. I was like, oh.
Also bad.
Also very bad.
Keep your potions away, buddy. We need to go north. Can you walk?
Folksbane will like paralyze the humanoid. Yeah, that's not what you want.
He's going to like shakily try to get back up.
You can see at this point Adecelyn's like eyeing her mug or tankard and kind of downing it, and she's like, I want what he's having.
I'm also, as he stands up, he's like wobbly. I'm gonna pull out my smelling salts and let him take a big sniff.
You have smelling salts?
I do.
No shit. Adarag.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Adarag. All right. I need you. We're gonna have you roll an awareness check, and it's gonna be at easy difficulty.
Okay.
All right, Adarag. You come to. You're functioning. You're drunk, but you're able to boot, scoot, and boogie.
All right,
How
Adarag,
do you
follow
have
me.
smelling salts?
Never let me do that again.
Yeah, noted. I didn't like pour them out or anything. I just held them under his nose.
Yeah, I definitely won't count it as like a use or anything. Used for heat stroke, recover from peril and toxins. Interesting. All right, I'll allow it. That's way to use your inventory, boys.
All right. Well, we're headed towards Bjoern, where we think that is.
Okay.
Towards the stump.
So you guys head north out of Arwin's Rest. You guys have your mud boots. You cross the mud river. You see no one's out working. No one's in the river shellfishing. You guys head north along the path. The winding little high road, the swamp drifting off on either side down in the bank. You come across a net pinned to the ground, ripped and shredded apart. You see some crumpled, decayed, wilted purple flower. Another one off in the brush. You guys keep moving along, and eventually, ahead of you, you see a glade. The one that wasn't there upon first travels, but was there later. A odd stump in the middle of this glade. Same stump carved with the same runic letters and a gaping slash through the middle of them. And an old lady and a large bear man gardening.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to, before I let either of us move forward, I want to look around the area, and I'm specifically looking for, like, if there's illusions I can make out. Like, I want to make sure they're legitimately there and it's actually Bjorn. Make sure we're not being, like, hoodwinked by a spell or something.
Yeah, roll a scrutinize for me.
I think Adarag is also just like trying to keep quiet and like keeping an eye out around the perimeter for anything that's like moving or any slight changes to scenery that would indicate something approaching.
Give me an awareness check. All right. Keeping an eye outside of the glade, kind of keeping an eye around. The area seems still, quiet. Gnimwirt. The glade seems normal. For some reason, I should have noted, as you guys were heading north, a purple fog has enveloped a lot of the swamp. This little high road that you were on was the only spot that like wasn't completely covered, like your feet were covered, with this purple hazy kind of mist that has taken over. Where this glade is, it's very noticeable because the purple haze kind of drifts around the edges, but inside the glade there isn't a purple haze. And inside, see Granny Evelyn and Bjoern. Bjoern will turn and be like, gentlemen, it is good to see you again.
Bjoern!
For anyone curious, Bjoern and Granny Evelyn.
Rock and roll!
Oh yeah! Let's go, Sonny. Just farted.
It's good to see you two as well. We've been looking for you. I hope you guys are doing okay.
We are safe, For now.
For now? And he's going to kind of like look questioningly at Bjorn.
Bjorn will
For
just
now?
kind of look off to the swamp. We are all of us on limited time, I would say. Would you not?
I just nod. And as we walk into the glade, kind of approaching them, I just take in a big whiff of whatever I'm smelling there.
It almost smells fresh. A lot of like herbs, plants, a lot of like spices almost is what you're kind of picking up. It seems they've been working on this garden for a minute. Able to put together a little something.
Bjorn, Evelyn, are you not feeling the effects of the sickness the same as everyone else because of being here?
Maybe. Doubtful. Maybe because of not being there.
In Arwin's Rest?
Yes, honey. In Arwin's Rest, where else?
So you don't think this purple fog is what's causing the sickness?
Maybe. Purple fog is weird. Agreed.
Well, we might have a question for you on possible remedies. And also, Granny Evelyn, you seem to be one of the more knowledgeable people in this town.
Old. You're calling me old. I'm an old person in this town, yes.
You're experienced. Anyways, would
Are
you...
you trying to hit on me or ask me for help?
A little bit of both?
Good boy. What can I do for you?
He's drunk.
I see. Bjorn's like looking between the two of them, like,
how's this gonna work? Well, you see, Granny Evelyn, I was curious if this sickness has ever come about before in the history of the town.
This sickness? No, not that I remember. No one's been this sick. People get sick. It does happen. Not this sick.
Now, Adaece had a interesting theory that it might not be completely naturally caused entirely.
That psycho witch voodoo shit. She's a weird one. Always talking to them gods and what's not, drinking her heart out. Poor girl. Pretty. Dumb as bricks.
Well, to each their own.
As Adarag's having this conversation, Gnimwirt set his pack down, and I'm going through the stuff, which is still kind of like pretty wet. But I'm gonna pull out the scale from the beast that we fought.
As you do that, Bjorn's watching, just kind of watching this, just kind of eyeing you as you sit down and going through your stuff. And once you pull out the scale, you see nothing. Both of you roll an awareness check. Gnimwirt, your head's down, you're pulling out the scale. Adarag, you're talking to Granny, and you see Bjorn's face, just the slightest twitch when the scale gets pulled out. The slightest.
There's the slightest little, like, maybe
Like,
something's there.
Yeah, like, he reacted, but he covered it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see, we were just out with Frankie and Hopkins and out on the ocean, and this sea beast came and attacked the boat. And in the fray, it escaped, but it left
Those two
behind
rattling off about a sea monster. That was real. There's no way. You're drunk, he said.
I am a bit twisted, but at that point, I was not.
I pull out the scale and hand it over to Evelyn. And this scale, compared to Gnimwirt, it's like massive, It's like a huge scale. And I'm handing it over to her. Like, here you go.
She doesn't touch it.
Bjoern.
More likely, she reacts like ready to like exclaim something, and you see Bjoern kind of step between and be like, so it is real. Most interesting.
Bjoern, I believe you may know some more than you let on. Would you care to fill us old pals in?
You give me too much credit. I have never seen this beast.
I should
Fair.
say, Bjorn, we were with Frankie and Hopkins was near death from the sickness on our voyage. And this scale, when we tore it from the beast, was shiny and shimmering. It was kind of like translucent. It was hard to describe. I've never seen a substance anything like it, but just colorful in the sun, reflective. And when we placed it on Hopkins, it seemed to not cure him, but significantly reduce the pain of the sickness and potentially help him. And as we did that, much of the color faded from it to what you see now. I don't know if that's helpful in your assessment of the healing properties, but I thought you should know.
And how long have you traveled with this item?
We came almost straight here from the voyage. We got it maybe a day ago, 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours.
And you see he kind of is squinting, like eyeing Gnimwirt. Adarag would see this based off his awareness. You see he almost seems to be analyzing Gnimwirt, not the scale. Whereas Gnimwirt, you know, it looks like he's looking at the scale. He goes, that should be studied.
Bjorn,
Both of you take something different away from that comment.
you wouldn't happen to know any folklore tales that you'd like to share with the group?
Oh, seems like an odd time for a story. As we said, you're unlimited.
I see.
Speaking of which, Evelyn. Huh? Oh, yes. You two free?
Well...
You see, we need help with something, and we sent some out to do it, but they failed, or died, or didn't come back. Could you possibly help us? It's, I don't know, save the world.
To tackle the sickness issue, I take it?
Sure, yes.
Don't sound confident.
Maybe I could.
And I take it you sent out Grunkle and Torvekik and Wilfer?
Yes, we did. But how did you know?
Well, I figure they're the other, quote, heroes in this town, so I figured it might have been them.
Suppose that's fair. You see,
And you said they failed. Are they okay?
I don't know. They did not return. How would I know?
Well, you said they died or something, so...
Well, if they did not return, maybe they died. Or
Well,
maybe they are just hindered. Bjorn kind of was like...
Like, what the...
Yeah, like, jeez, lady, like...
Well, yes, I mean, we'd do anything we can to help.
Good. Because we need some ingredients.
Ah, ingredients, you say? I can... Actually, we haven't really had many fetch quests, haven't we?
Classic fetch quests. You see, I need ingredients for, how would you say?
A tincture? A
Potion.
A potion. Aye. Very familiar.
It's bark from the whispering willow trees. Have you seen them?
Whispering willow. These are different from like the ashen trees.
True.
Okay.
Have we seen them?
You're more than welcome to roll a survival check. I'll even allow, you can either do survival to see if you've come across them, or a folklore to see if you've heard of them, or anything. Maybe even read about them.
I'll try folklore.
Good.
Folklore.
Orcum.
I'll try a survival.
Right. Alright. Gnimwirt, you've never read about these in your books. You've never come across these. Oh, you know what willow trees are, but not a whispering willow tree. Is that like some kind of subspecies? You're not sure. Adarag, something nags at your mind that you've come across. You passed one before. You feel like you may have seen one.
I believe I might have recalled where one is, but do you have any leads, Bjorn or Granny Evelyn, as to where one might be?
Yes. They seem to only grow near sites where an ashen tree stand. You come across one?
We've come across a couple.
Have you?
Yeah. There's the ones up by the statue, or where the statue was,
Okay.
in the grove. And then there was, or no, maybe the other one was just when we were talking about, when I did a folklore check when I was looking at the mug that Adaece had, made of ashen wood.
Yep.
Okay.
I do remember a time of seeing another tree, but I don't remember where.
Yeah.
We'd have to go look through notes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, I believe there was a place up in the north here where there was some ashen trees. Maybe.
And did you see an ancient willow tree?
Ancient willow?
Again, that's where you get the nagging feeling at the back of your mind.
Now that they're talking about this specifically, can I do a survival to see if I remember?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Would allow that.
I believe I do remember something in that clearing.
We're focused on the statue and the gunpowder that went off at that moment.
Mm-hmm. I believe I do remember there being something. I know that the ashen trees erupted when Atlas warped. But I believe I do remember something in the clearing.
I will give Gnimwirt this as Adarag's talking. Gnimwirt, you can see that Bjorn has like a odd smirk to his look.
Bjorn, you were there with us. Are you remembering something that we don't?
What was that? He goes, I believe your friend is on to something.
So,
all right.
Revisiting the Atlas location.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Bjorn, what else is needed for this potion?
That, I leave Granny Evelyn.
Granny Evelyn?
Before we get to Granny Evelyn, I want to ask, we're at the top of the hour. Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break? Or wait?
Maybe we wait until this sequence is over and then...
Take the 10-minute break at the midway point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, my turn. What I need is moonlit moss. That's what I need. You guys know where that is too, right? Right?
Can I do a folklore check?
It's for the town, not for potion. I don't know how to make potions.
You may make a folklore check if you've heard or read about it.
And I'm gonna survival again.
Sure. See if you've come across it.
See if I've come across.
You've never come across it that you can tell. Moonlit moss that was lit by the moon, maybe. Probably all over the swamp. Yeah, like here, here.
Just grabbing some moss off the ground. Yeah.
Gnimwirt, you've read about this. It's a bioluminescent moss. It's not really moonlit, but in like pure darkness, it looks like it's illuminated by the moon. But in pure darkness, not actually.
Okay. Can I also do a survival check to see if we've seen it?
Absolutely. You have. And oddly enough, you saw it on a plate on the bar counter in Hobbs Lodge. A plate that was set at the end of the bar. It was late at night when you guys were going in and going to bed. Liliana was putting together a plate of looked like different gatherings from the freelance from the area around town, and it was like a plate set out for a patron, but it was set out as everyone was going to sleep. It was not there the next day. You don't remember. Yeah, moving on.
And we're currently at the location of the stump, right?
You are at the stump, yes.
Okay. Adarag, I've seen this before. It is a moss, yes, but
Not
it
this.
glows. Well, it glows in pure darkness.
He cups his hand over the top of it, like looking at it.
He's still drunk, remember.
I remember seeing it once when we were at Hobbs Lodge. Liliana had set it out on a plate. Late at night, we were just going to bed and the lodge was dark. And that's when I saw this glowing moss, which I thought was interesting at the time. She mentioned that she had... Wrath, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say she had gathered this around town?
It looked like a plate of... It wasn't all one item. It looked like a plate of different things that she gathered.
Okay. So, if we can figure out... Maybe Granny Evelyn, you might know this. Liliana, did she often go to a specific place to forage around town?
Not that I know of. He kind of lived and slept at Hobbs Lodge.
Okay.
Whereabouts does she stay when she's sick, though? Because we were just in Hobbs Lodge and we didn't see anyone.
I assume where all the sick people are currently. The sleeping
Where
space.
all the sick... In the... Oh, down below. I see. Well,
Hell, half the town sleeps there.
Oh. Well. The realization is coming to Adarag that he probably should not have been standing around at Hobbs Lodge.
You're like, uh-oh.
Oh. Well, which direction did the what area did your other party try to tackle? Did they try to go for the Willowwood or the Moss?
Neither. We were intending to set them out on this when they returned. They hunted down serpent leaf essence and frost fern extract.
Ah. Well.
If
all
you
right.
succeed, maybe we'll have you track those down after. If there is time. But he kind of looks out to the swamp. I doubt it. We are
Adarag
losing
Starts
the
coughing.
day.
I believe that's true.
I'll pull out my whatever medicine I have in my pack. So I've got my a vial of quicksilver and the smelling salts still left, and then I also have a bottle of leeches. And I'm just gonna pull all that out and hold it up to Bjorn. Bjorn, I don't know if any of this is useful to at least help with the symptoms that Adarag is feeling.
What have you done with the scale?
I handed that to someone, Bjorn, or
They didn't touch it.
No, they didn't take it.
oh, okay. It's still sitting with my pack then.
Okay. I was just curious. So you pulled it out and do what? The medicines?
Bottle of leeches, vial of quicksilver, and the smelling salts. And I just asked Bjorn, like, hey, is any of this useful for helping with these symptoms or in whatever you're trying to do to help?
He kind of looks over and he goes, those will not help me, but I would hang on to them. I feel they may prove useful yet.
Okay. I will. I stuff them back in my pack. And what about this scale? It seemed to help Hopkins. You guys don't think you could use it?
You see he's paused, he's thinking. Says, you've carried it this far. I think it's best in your possession.
What do you suggest we do with it, besides just carry it?
Cast it into the fire.
It's a secret. Is it safe?
No.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
I'm sure that remains to be seen yet.
You do speak in riddles, Bjorn. But I trust you, and I will continue to hold it.
Contrary to what many may believe, I do not know everything. The swamp.
Understood.
It is foreign to me as well.
Well, Whispering Willow Tree Bark and Moonlit Moss, the other party is working on getting. Is there anything else?
Yeah. Which one of you's gone for which one?
Well, given the danger of the situation, I think we probably need to stick together. So, is there one that's a higher priority?
We don't have time for that, sweetie. You're gonna have to let go of his hand and let him run free. You're a big voice. Well, you're grown-ups, at least, I think.
Well,
Adarag?
relatively. Actually, I'm actually young.
Can't tell you both are tiny.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but it seems like we don't really have much option in the matter.
Well, so be it. We'll try our best.
Well, it's been a pleasure knowing you. If I don't return,
Adarag, take these. You seem to be feeling the effects of the sickness more than me, and I'm gonna hand him the quicksilver and the smelling salts.
All right, add those to your inventory if you will.
The smelling salts I have 3 of, so I'm gonna give him 2.
Okay, make sure you note that. Quicksilver to suppress a disorder, psychosurgery, venereal disease. The other one is smelling salts for heat stroke, recover peril toxins.
1 Quicksilver and 2 smelling salts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm removing the Quicksilver from mine.
So what do we decide?
I'll take the willows because I do know where those might be.
Okay, and you are a bit more skilled with protecting yourself than I am, I'd say. I hope.
He kind of looks at his stiletto and his flintlock pistol, and he's like, maybe.
I suppose I can head back to town and try to retrace steps from Hobbs Lodge and figure out where Liliana found that moss.
Sounds like a plan.
Great. So, Gnimwirt? I will be heading back to town. Should I meet you there? Will you be coming back here?
Well, I'm assuming you guys need these things here.
I need mine in town, actually. Again, this is to help the town. Hopefully. I think. I guess we'll see.
Do we have enough time for you to explain to me how this helps the town?
I would love to explain to you, but to be honest, I'm not quite sure yet. The pictures just made it clear that this would be needed.
The pictures?
Yes.
What pictures?
Have you not seen them?
I don't believe I have.
Peculiar. Well, I believe there were some around Hobbs Lodge. You're headed there, aren't you?
I believe so.
Well, look for some pictures. Tell me what you see.
Okay.
And that means, Adarag, I shall wait for you here.
Understandable. Gnimwirt, if I don't make it back, you know where my stash is.
I don't like talk like that, Adarag. You're gonna make it back. And Bjoern, do you need to be here, or could you accompany Adarag?
Unfortunately, I am not sure this place will be here if I leave.
Okay. So be it. Adarag, do you have everything you need? The swamp suit, mud boots.
Yes, Dad.
You gonna stay warm? You get a lunch?
Do you think you should take the scale? Do you think it'll be useful where you're going?
The scale?
The monster scale?
The monster scale. No, I feel like it best be kept with you, and maybe in a bit safer place. Because if it turns out that I'm not able to make it back, I don't want it to be at the cost of the lives of the townsfolk.
Okay. Well, with that, I'm gonna pack up the rest of my stuff that was out, put it all in my bag.
You guys set out?
Yeah, I guess I'll set out south towards town.
Adarag?
And I'm making my way towards the clearing, which was to the east, if I'm not mistaken.
It was north, and then it was north, and then off to the east side is where you saw it off the road.
Yep. Yeah, so north to the east side, yeah.
Okay. Gnimwirt sets out south, back towards Arwin's Rest. Adarag turns, heads the opposite direction. They part ways, opposing sides of the glade here. Adarag heading north. towards the original site where they found the Atlas statue. With that, we're going to head off into a 10-minute break. Thank you everyone for watching so far. If you guys have liked the video, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe, all those things. If you're here live with us, feel free to tell us in the chat what you guys think of the current predicament and situation. Seems like Adarag's starting to feel some side effects. When will he start queefing? Find out next time. King's Crossing. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We are back. Toughnuts is going to be eating his downer, so if you see him dipping out of camera, that's why. Don't mind it.
Ignore me.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna want, let's go with Adarag. One his heads, two his tails. Roll a 1d2, but before you do, /R 1d2. Before you do, call heads or tails.
You said one is heads?
Yep, one his heads, two tails.
I'm going to call tails.
Okay.
Tails never fails.
Boom, bam.
R1d2.
/R 1d2.
/R1d2. Here we go.
One, it failed. So that means heads, so Toughnuts. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second so I can eat.
Ah, good call. Okay. We're going to jump over to Adaece.
Oh boy. Nice.
Nice. All right. Adaece, you find yourself alone on the winding, skinny little high road. As you walk in, you notice the swamp has risen. Like, where there used to be maybe 3 feet across, there's maybe 3 people walking space across, there's about 1 now. And the swamp has risen up. It's probably going to engulf this path in not too long. You're moving along. The tree coverage is blotting out a lot of the sun, but you can tell it's still morning, but it's getting closer to like noonish kind of time. You're moving north along the path. As you continue on towards the spot where you originally encountered Atlas, is there anything you want to be doing during your travel time?
Yes. So while I'm traveling, I'm going to have my ghillie suit on. So I'm going to be trying to do it as like sneakily as I can, and probably like changing some of the foliage that's on it to kind of match with my surroundings a little bit better. Not a bush traveling through water does seem a bit inconspicuous. But I'm going to be kind of quietly making my way there, and I am going to be listening and like trying to keep all my senses up, but mainly focusing on my hearing and my my sight.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're stealthing.
Yes.
And I get 2 rolls from you. Stealth and awareness. But whichever one you roll first is the one you're going to be prioritizing. Which one is that?
I'm prioritizing stealth.
Okay. So roll stealth, and I believe with your stealth suit, it's already bumped up a notch to routine. Mm-hmm. So change that to easy, and change your awareness to challenging. Challenging is 1 step down, right?
The swamp suit I have in my notes makes it 2 easier challenge ratings when
I bumped it up 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's because you like crit something on it. You fuck.
You crit success.
God damn it. Okay.
Trivial.
So trivial stealth, challenging awareness.
Okay.
No, standard awareness. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
You failed this. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's still
that's
high.
Still pretty high.
69. Nice.
Nice. But
That's
with
crit success, right?
Yeah, crit.
House rules.
Has to be.
critical. Yep. House rules. All right, and
You, as you're stealthing along, you come. You splooged all over your pants. Ah, dang it!
That's a big fail.
So difficulty rating standard for the awareness?
Standard for there.
Okay.
Okay. You could reroll. You guys have fortune points still.
Yeah, I'll reroll it. Or
You can reroll. You guys have fortune points still.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. So you get down. You're crawling. You're not even on the top. You're kind of on the embankment on the side of the path, in between swamp and grassland, kind of moving through the brush along the edge of the swamp there. Hell, I don't even know at what point in the path you are. Even the DM's lost sight of you. Adarag's moving. And whatever encounters I had for him along the way, I can't even trigger them because the DM has lost track of Adarag. He's avoided sight. All of a sudden, we're at the glade. And Adarag crawls out of the bushes. Oh shit, move over there, camera. It's like in football when it's watching, the ball goes somewhere else, but it's a trick play, and all of a sudden it's over there, and the cameraman got tricked and has to go back. That's the DM right now. It's like, oh shit, he's over there.
There he is.
So we're gonna go over to the glade. Now, it's not really a glade like the one you just came from. This is just a rupture site, more of. Easily noticeable by the shimmering rock fragments scattered across this area. You see broken, snapped in half trees. You see giant splinter barks lodged through other trees. I'm getting feedback through your mic there.
Yeah, I'm wondering that same.
You know, you see shards of like trees exploded, and shards of them were smashed through other trees. So as you go in, you see this, and there's something else you notice immediately. The statue of Atlas is smashed. You can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. The statue of Atlas is smashed. The trees are ripped apart, but you notice the ashen tree. Now, you remember this ashen tree had a rune on it that erupted as well, got conjoined with the explosion, right?
Yes.
This ashen tree is now broken, and like lightning hit it. Basically, you know how the trees like kind of crumple apart. Except you see it looks like a glitch, like in a video game where it's like branches are like and it's glitching. What would you like to do?
Well, that doesn't quite seem right. I'd like to move closer to the ashenwood trees and kind of keep an eye out for any. And now I'm going to kind of switch from like focusing on my eyes to focusing mainly on my hearing, seeing if I'm like hearing anything out in the wilderness.
Okay. Roll an awareness check at easy difficulty.
Easy.
Jesus. You see the tree glitching, and then all of a sudden, coming right through the tree, something was behind the tree, coming right through the tree, you see a large man made of stone. Stone skin just blazed into your mind. You'll never forget the look of just pure rage on his face. This man, stony beard. It looks like a beard, but it's got to be made of stone. Just skin riddled with tattoos. Weird, ancient foreign armor. Wields a massive axe. Just giant, double-sided axe. Swings it around, coming right towards you. Brings it down on top of you and goes right through you and dissipates as smoke.
I'm just kind of like, with all this going on, I'm like, look, like, what is going on? So with that, well, that seems like not some.
Sorry, with the crit success, you also see once he's gone through the tree, you can see in the back this ancient willow tree overarching in the background.
Well, that seems like something worth protecting. And I'm going to sneak my way over to that tree.
So, Wrath, just so I understand, it's through the glitch in the tree?
Yes.
Like in the... Okay.
So stepping through, you come into a place of silence. All that you hear is the wind kind of blows through the trees. You hear twigs snap, trees bend with the wind. As the ancient willow looms in front of you, what do you do?
With the ancient willow in front of me, I'm going to... So I've now passed through this like glitch, this cracking glitch, and so the scenery has totally changed around me. Can I see, looking back through that thing, do I still see the glade that I came from?
It looks like you're still in the swamp.
Okay. Okay, so
This
still in the
area
swamp.
just seems different.
Like there may have been a shade in front. Okay. I'm going to first look around. No, Adarag would probably just walk up to the tree. He's gonna be still trying to sneak as much as possible, but walk towards the tree, towards the low hanging branches, and as he's getting closer,
Pause.
Yeah.
As you make your way towards the tree, you're kind of still sneaking, still moving. Kind of looking over your shoulder, looking left, looking right. You look back. I swore it was in front of you, but now it's to the left of you. It turned around. You see that there's kind of a path leading towards it, but the path turns and goes to the left towards the tree. As the wind continues to blow and the trees continue to creak and twigs continue to snap.
Okay. I would like to listen in for where, like, because the willows have like a distinctive like rustle to the thin branches as they collide together in a wind. I would like to be listening for that and trying to walk towards that sound.
Okay. It sounds to the left of you. And
Okay.
I'm not even going to make it real for it. It sounds to the left of you. Follow the kind of, it looks like a path leading that way. Again, looking. The path turns right towards the tree.
Okay. I am going to, instead of walking towards the tree, I'm going to try to walk. No, I'm not going to walk anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. You can't beat me.
Adarag's going to sit down. No. Adarag is going to pull out his he's going to pull out one of his candles. And he's going to light his candle and
roll an awareness check.
Yeah.
You immediately sense more twigs cracking, more trees creaking.
Mm. He puts out the candle. Puts out the candle. Puts that back in his bag. Bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. And oh man, what can he do? Adarag is going to. Adarag would like to see if try to recollect if he's heard of any like tales of the Whispering Willows, or like any knowledge that he might have found along his travels.
The only reason I'm going to allow this is because you didn't roll folklore originally when checking on this, so I'll allow it now.
Yep. Yeah.
And just to be clear, you're not moving?
No, I am not moving. Yep.
At one time, while visiting Arwin's Rest, sitting in the bar, you were sitting there having a drink during one of your runs. You recall two people talking. They're sitting at the bar next to you. You weren't really paying attention. You remember them talking about the willow trees. I think maybe they were lumberjacks. Talking about maybe the ashen trees and the willow trees. He said something about they're older than time itself, and they like some of the best wood you could possibly find, but they will never go near them, never cut them down, because trees won't let them. More myths and superstitions and folk tales and wives' tales and what's not, but that's what you remember.
Okay. So they're. All right. So Adarag is going to. He's going to. Try to sneakily like work his way off of the path and try to like roundabout go towards the tree instead of directly on the path that is being laid out.
Okay. You kind of move off the path to the right, I'm assuming, because you know the tree's to your right now. You must have gotten turned around, following the path. Move off the path, moving through the trees. Again, you hear the wind blowing around. The trees bend and sway, and twigs snapping. Why are twigs snapping? You're not sure. Before you have a chance to think about it, come around a tree, and you were met face to face. Son of a bitch. You were met face to face with something. It will be up in a second. It lost the image, so I have to pull it back up. Let me find it real quick. Stand by.
Okay. Yeah. As Adarag is like coming around, trying to be a sneaky boy, he's really trying to think like, the last time I was in these woods, I met I had some issues with some interesting foes.
You were met face to face. A creature covered in these like needles. I need an awareness check immediately. Covered in these needles, stabbing out of its skin. It almost looks like a tree. Crit failure. This thing's watching you. It could attack at any second. It's standing, looming over you. What do you do?
So I just like came out from behind a tree.
Basically, yeah. You rounded a tree, you look up, and this thing is standing over you.
I am going to well, I'm just surprised.
And with
by
that,
this
we're gonna
thing.
cut to
I'm
Gnimwirt.
gonna back. Jump back, yeah.
Gnimwirt!
Yes, sir.
You make your way into Arwin's Rest! Town. Everything's fine and dandy here. Everything's going just according to plan.
I get this terrible feeling that my friend's about to die.
You find yourself back in town. You've crossed the Mud River. You kind of take off your boots, stash them on your pack, head into town. What would you like to do?
So first thing I'm gonna do is head back to Hobbs Lodge, but based on our conversation, with Bjorn and Evelyn, I'm going to start trying to like protect my face. So I took like some scrap clothes.
Hang on real quick. I'm still getting backfeed through Lisa's mic.
Sorry about that.
You're good. Yeah. Just so you know. You can work on it while he's doing his thing. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay.
It's not that bad. Keep going.
Yeah, so let me open my trappings real quick. Hold on. So I've got some fine clothing in my pack. I'm going to take part of that and I'm going to fasten it around my like nose and mouth as like a mask.
You're fastening what around your nose, your mouth and nose?
I have fine clothing.
Fine clothing. Yep.
Part of that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go to Hobbs Lodge, looking for those pictures that Evelyn was referring to.
Okay. Stepping into Hobbs Lodge, once again, the small fire that you made is burning in the fireplace there, but everything else seems pretty quiet. The two empty tankards sit on the bar, upside down. And inside, now looking around a little bit of light, you see a table with a drawing on it. Looks like a couple scratches of paper. And what looks to be like some coloring utensils.
Okay, I'm gonna go investigate that.
What you see looks to be the drawings of a simpleton, maybe a child. Small little colored drawings, someone just kind of doodling. And what you see is... Roll a scrutinize for me. We're going to see how much this I'm going to give you.
Okay. I'll tell you if this increases my odds. My mind is immediately going to... Was Isabella drawing these with dreams? Because I know she had visions from the swamp. So if that gives me...
What?
So, what do I do? Scrutinize?
Scrutinize, yeah. You have fortune points. Do you want to reroll, or are you sticking with that?
I'll stick with that for now.
Okay. Looking at the drawings, yeah, they look like drawings of a child. You see what looks to be maybe some kind of creature in a dark place. Looks to be maybe some people at a farm. See what looks to be maybe one of the watchmen walking around town at night. You see looks to be like a pretty mountain. Maybe some people like maybe the top of a wedding cake. Or maybe it's a mountain. Might be some like maybe some mountain climbers or something on it. Not sure.
Okay. That's fine. And then I'm gonna go to where I had previously seen the plate with Liliana and like where it was and try to recall any other information about when I saw that in the past now that I'm actually in the lodge.
I would make you roll, but honestly, there's not much more to gather. It was kind of in passing that you even saw it to begin with.
Okay.
You remember she set a plate basically down at the end of the bar where no one sat. It was late at night. They were shutting down. Everyone was basically gone to bed. She set up this plate of kind of gatherings that she had, or she called it a day.
Okay.
You remember the next day when you walked past, there was nothing there, so that's about all.
Okay. All right. While I'm here, so I'm gonna start getting ready to go look for this moss. But while I'm here, I'm gonna try to fashion goggles of some sort that are almost like, for lack of better words, like sunglasses, but just like something that's translucent but dark, so that it like mimics darkness, to see if that can help me find this moss that glows only in darkness. Just to see if it works.
Okay.
If I can.
The best you can do with the materials at hand without taking the time to go find better stuff and craft something better is you're basically creating like blinders, long tubes at the end to kind of keep all the light out of your pupils so that your pupils will be more accustomed to the darkness and keeps a lot of the refracted light out. Best you're basically going to get. It's still something.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna start by just, if you maybe go to the map, I'm gonna walk out of Ops Lodge, and to start, I'm gonna go just around the, like, outskirts of the lodge, assuming that maybe Liliana would stay close to that area, looking for this moss, and every once in a while I hold these tubes up, see if I see anything glowing.
Okay. I will allow it. Roll an awareness check for me.
Standard everything?
Yep, standard everything. Walking around the lodge, you don't see anything that looks like moss. The only thing you can see is that someone's been to and through your little workshop area. There's an odd set of footprints that someone else besides you and Adarag have been moseying about in your workshop area.
Okay. I'm assuming it's like big footprints. That's how I know it's someone else.
Yeah, I was gonna say everyone else has big footprints, but yeah, that's your point. Yeah.
Okay. Is anything obviously missing that I would know? Like, I would notice?
You would notice, no. Nothing seems out of place.
Okay. Which direction do the footprints come from and go?
Basically, they lead back to the front of Hobbs Lodge.
Okay.
And then mix with all the other muck and junk of passers.
Okay. So they went to and from Hobbs Lodge. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna continue my search going around Hobbs Lodge real quick.
Yeah, you're able to basically wrap up your search. It looks like someone relatively tries to keep Hobbs Lodge decent. There's nothing resembling moonlit moss.
Okay. I'm gonna start making my way up towards Elder Arlane's home.
I'm gonna give you this. Roll of folklore, and we're gonna go over what you know of this so far. Only
Okay.
because one, we're on a time limit, so I kind of gotta push you in the right direction.
Okay.
So tell me how much I give you. What's up, Falcon? What's up, Tiger? You guys are making fun of my map. Listen, I worked really hard on this, as you can tell. Folklore, 74 out of 51, you failed. The only things you know is that Granny Evelyn said that she basically never really left Hobbs Lodge. She lived and worked there.
Okay. Remembering this, I'm gonna double back. And I'm actually gonna enter Hobbs Lodge, and I'm gonna go down to the sleeping quarters, where it's pitch black down there, and see if I see any bioluminescent stuff down there.
Okay. Getting down there, roll an awareness check for me while you do that. Stepping down the ladder, avoiding the broken rung that you know is there. You climb down into the dark, dingy space, and as you jump down there, you notice that the muck and gunk come up to almost about your waist level. This area used to get cleared out every day, but it seems the swamp has not you, Siri. It seems the muck and gunk has started to engulf the area. As you look around with a 65 out of 52 failure, do you want to reroll or are you keeping it?
I'll try again.
Go.
Oh.
You're good. Just hit the reroll in the chat.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
There
Ooh,
you go.
nice. Success. 50 out of 52. You look down immediately, disgusted by the fact that you're now balls deep in swamp. But then you take a second to raise up your head, you're looking, you pull up the goggles, you're looking around, your eyes start to accustom to the dark, and you see as this whole area is filled with sick people from the town just looking around kind of from cot to cot, and they're just bleach white, eyes red, blood running down their mouth and nose onto their beds, into the swamp water. But you see, as you're looking, you see one cot. Excuse me. 5 cots unoccupied. One of them, I think only, was it 1 or 2 that are flipped over?
I think it was both of ours.
Both of yours? Okay, so then you currently see 3 cots unoccupied. You see that your 2 cots are under the muck. Just the little legs are sticking above the water.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 cots seem unoccupied. 2 kind of in the middle. One of them very much bent, like half. And then 1 at like the far back corner.
Okay.
Somebody stole our spots.
Oh, were those the
Someone
wrong
took-
spots?
Or yours are flipped upside down and under the muck instead of on top of it.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
More likely.
I'm gonna look around like the top corners of the room where like hanging moss would be. Just seeing if it's like up. Like maybe I was looking down and it should be up.
Okay. Give me a scrutinize standard. Scrutinizing, I don't know if scrutinize is specifically used this way. Don't at me. We're going to use it as almost an investigation. I think it's more of like scrutinizing a person for like insight, but
Okay, that's fine.
in this case I'll use it. Okay, 85 out of 52. You have a reroll if you want it.
That's okay.
Okay. You do not see any moss hanging from any of the ceilings.
Okay.
Sick people across the room. There's 3 cots unoccupied, 2 under submerged.
Okay. Yeah, out of fear of getting sick, I'm gonna go ahead and go back up the ladder.
Okay. Climb back up into Hobbs Lodge. Stand in the empty main room.
Okay. Now I'm gonna any like windows or like ambient light that's coming in, I'm gonna go cover that with whatever like cloth or anything I can find to make it dark inside.
More than likely, if this is a moss that grows that is noted for being bioluminescent, things that are bioluminescent are permanently in the like they're evolved or whatever to be in the dark. That's where they grow and foster. And so it wouldn't be in an area where it could be light and could be dark.
Okay.
It would be in an area where it's always dark. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So my mind goes back to that spot I just left. However, first I'm gonna look to see if there's like I'll go in the back, like to the kitchen and any other like back rooms. And I'm gonna see if there's any other like cellar doors or basements that I might not be aware of.
Good luck. Looking around doesn't look like it. Again, from the outside, this looks like a tiny little building. It's weird enough that stepping in, there's this big of a main hall, let alone an underground. Pardon Kira drinking. Let alone an underground area. It's already way bigger than it should be. I'm pretty sure. So any extra rooms unlikely, but not impossible. Looking around, don't seem to find any though. I'm not even making you roll for that.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna make sure my mask is fastened tight and very uncharacteristic of Gnimwirt, but he pulls out his holy symbol, um, and he just says, "I don't remember the god that Adaece prays to, but if you're out there, maybe keep me from getting sick." And he puts it back, and then he goes down the ladder again, and this time he's gonna try to um, dig up those cots that are under the swamp.
Okay.
And see if he can like look underneath those, like down to the base where it used to be, and see if maybe there's moss buried or something.
Okay. Yeah, climbing back down, same scene, nothing's changed, no one's moved. You move over to where you realize it was yours and Adarag's cots that you guys had flipped over. You flip them back up, you sit them down, they're basically sitting right on top of the swamp water. There doesn't seem to be any moss growing on them. Roll. I'm gonna have you roll. Which one are you better at? Folklore or survival? Which one would Gnimwirt towards?
Probably folklore.
Okay, so it's more of, instead of what you would personally know from experience, it's what you've read about or heard about. That makes sense. I agree with you. Let's go with a folklore check. 7. Very nice. Out of 51, success. Moss wouldn't grow where it's wet. So under the swamp water, probably not likely.
Okay. Knowing that, are there any sort of like end tables or like any wood structures down there besides the cots?
No. What you've seen is full cots occupied by people, except 2 in the middle and 1 in the far corner. And then the 2 that were upside down that are now up, right side up.
Okay. And then what is the ceiling? Is it the wood floor?
It's the wood floor of the base of the main tavern.
Okay. And I've already looked at that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll give you this. You don't see Liliana in this room.
Okay.
If that helps. based off what you know.
So when
Or
I
does that
looked
help?
for, well, it probably should, but it's not clicking for me.
Okay.
When I looked for other rooms, I said like cellars and stuff.
Mhm.
Are there's no like living quarters in the lodge that I would be aware of, or I could have looked for outside of like the room I'm in right now, the underground.
None that you're aware of, or where you looked.
Okay. I'm frustrated.
What's funny is the problem is that I know everything, and so I feel like I've given you all the clues. But then I'm sitting here like, okay, he's not getting it. But the problem is that I know everything, so to me it's really simple. But to you it's not, and I get that because I'll let you know the other group struggled. Torfeka died trying to figure his out. So, to be fair, I'm sitting here going, it's kind of easy, but it's because I already know everything. So, in my mind, I feel like I've given you all the clues to figure it out, but I get it. Maybe it's not clicking, so I got to figure out more ways to kind of help guide you. And I'm working on it, I promise.
Okay. I'm going to go back up.
There is a solution. I'm not just setting you up to fail.
Yeah. I'm going to go back up the ladder. I'm gonna look behind the bar counter.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's like dark under the counter. Maybe
I'm gonna give you this. You've already checked.
Okay.
Yep. Your initial roll, your initial look around on the main floor, you've checked.
Okay.
That was another hint, by the way.
Well, you've told me. I remember from Evelyn that Liliana doesn't leave Hobbs Lodge, and like for the most part, and I've also searched everywhere I can in Hobbs Lodge.
Not everywhere.
All right, I'm gonna go in the back and I'm gonna look for other rooms.
You've already
Something
looked.
Upstairs.
There's no upstairs.
There is in your picture.
Okay, listen. Sorry. If anyone in chat can figure it out, let us know. If you know in the comments, type it down below.
I'm gonna look up the chimney.
It's a great idea. No, she's not up the chimney.
No, not Liliana, for Moss.
Oh! That makes way more sense.
Santa Liliana.
She's just... Oh, you found me!
I feel like such an idiot.
No, you don't find any up there either. Oh my god, that was funny. I'm gonna give you this. So upstairs, you've looked around, you haven't found anything. Downstairs, you saw all the sick people, the two now flipped over cots with the two other empty cots and one empty cot in the far corner. All the sick people across the room. No Liliana. That's what you know so far.
Yeah.
And you know Liliana was told that she was staying home because she was sick. And you know that she lives here.
I peek my head in the ladder room. Has anyone seen Liliana?
The downstairs room?
Yeah. Can anyone speak?
Talk to me, damn it. I'm gonna roll a random luck check we're gonna do. See if any of these people. That's just on the side of failure.
I'll walk up to, I don't know. Is there someone I recognize that is like close to the door? Or...
Ooh. That I'm gonna have you roll. Give me a roll a 1d 35. You know, classic.
5 people down here.
Okay. All right.
Fish comes out of the water.
Hey, ma'am. No. There's someone, I don't know if you would recognize them. You were at the festival with everyone. Do you remember when a certain somebody accused the Rockar Legion of invading?
I thought it was Adarag.
It was. So when that happened, someone came and questioned Grunkle about it. Do you remember that? Took him off to the watchman's hut to ask him questions about it.
It wasn't Jonathan, was it?
No.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember.
Hunt Captain Kyler.
Okay.
Don't know if you guys have interacted with him much.
I think we've met him.
Okay, that's the one instance
yeah.
I remember you guys would have seen him, but you see him laying on a cot near the ladder. He seems his eyes are open and he's just staring at the ceiling. Same symptoms.
Okay. I'll try to hold my smelling salts up to his nose to see if that revives him enough to talk to me.
You see him immediately gag, cough, and puke off the side of his mat into the water festering at your feet. He kind of rolls back over and pushes him out of the way and he goes, "Fuck! Why'd you do that?"
I need to know where Liliana is.
Over there. And he gestures towards the back corner, where you see an empty cot.
Alright, I'm gonna go investigate that empty cot.
Thank you! No.
Yeah!
Heading back towards the empty cot. Yeah, it's an empty cot. It seems like the blankets and everything are folded nice and neat, and laid over. But upon immediate inspection, you can see no one's laying in the cot. Like it's made to look like someone's laying in it, but no one's laying in it. Like there's like a pillow laid underneath, like blankets folded over, to try and like make it look.
Can I try to see if there's like hair left there or something that might match like Liliana's color of hair or something?
I'll give you this, absolutely. Like, yeah, this definitely seems like it was her cot.
Okay.
See your hair on it, like you're easily able to tell, like, yeah, like probably where she slept.
Okay. And looking around the cot, I don't see any other like.
Roll an awareness check.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to you at. Based on, I'm not gonna tell you what you did to earn this, but based on what you did, I'm gonna give it to you as an easy check. 40 out of 72, you succeed. Behind her cot, in the wall, you see what looks to be a hidden door, but was very hastily closed and not well hidden or covered back up.
Okay. I'm gonna try to peek through that door. I'm gonna open it.
Okay. kind of creaking through this like wooden half wood, half mud door. You kind of push it off to the side, and a dark tunnel lies ahead of you.
Okay. Before I go in, I'm using my dark noculars and just seeing if I see anything glowing.
New item unlocked. Dark noculars. So before you go in, you're looking, you don't see anything. It looks like a dark tunnel.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to stealthily enter.
Roll stealth.
Does my swamp suit help me here?
Same thing. Yep. Up
Okay.
to 2. 19 out of 63 success. You head down the hallway. And as you head down this tunnel, kind of moving along, slinking along the walls, you can tell you're going deeper. It seems almost like a gradual, maybe twisting, turning, kind of coil going down. You can feel yourself going deeper. You can feel the like air pressure and the thinner air, and as you get down, it opens up, and all of a sudden, you're in what looks to be old ancient ruins underground.
Okay.
The drips of water echo, resounding off the walls ahead of you. What do you do?
Can I see any footprints that are bigger than mine? Obviously, like that might show where someone walked down here.
Roll awareness. Or survival. Give you either one. I'll let you pick. It'll tell you different things depending on which one you roll.
Okay, I'm gonna do awareness.
Oh. 32 out of 52 success. You go to look for footprints, but are immediately distracted when you see you're in this like ruin. At the other side of the ruin, you see something standing there looking at you. You see, I closed it. Uber. This. And all of a sudden, it scales on the side of the wall and starts coming toward you. We're going to cut back to Adarag. Adarag.
So I'm going to say with that critical fail, I probably just kind of, like, I didn't see him coming around the tree, and then I felt something like, you said he had, like, spines on him.
Oh, yeah.
Felt something, like, poke into me, and then I just kind of, like, fell back, startled.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Give me another awareness check. Falling backwards, you look down at the wound where it kind of poked you. It looks very familiar. You've seen someone with these same wounds.
Would that be...
This thing looms over you. What do you do?
I would like to... So I kind of have this ghillie suit on that kind of makes me look like shrubbery-like. I would like to use it to try to, like, disguise myself and, like, play it off like I am a twig blight.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Go ahead and we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll a guile check on this one.
Would it be guile or disguise?
It would be disguise. I didn't even know that was a skill. I should have. Listen, I've spent the last month building a Pokemon game, so my systems are a little crisscrossed right now.
Okay.
Yeah, disguise works. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm a really good DM, I promise. 86. You have 1 fortune point left. Would you like to use it?
I would like to use it.
Okay, it's its turns next. Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna like.
You look at it and you go, "I'm a twig blight." It's its turn. It doesn't move. As you look and you see that this thing is petrified marble, granite.
Ooh. Okay. Adarag is going to realize how stupid that was, and
I got a kick out of that.
and kind of come to his senses, and like his vision went like danger for a second, and now he's kind of like coming back, like his tunnel vision is going away, and he's kind of like realizing the situation a little bit more. He would like to inspect this to see. He would. Oh. Do these look like? Does this wound that's on him now look like the wound that was on Atlas?
No.
No. Okay.
The one that was on Atlas looked more like a claw gash.
Claw gash. Okay. All right.
I thought you knew where Atlas got his wound from.
We did, but maybe
did.
he's wondering if it was
I thought there were some like pock marks on him or something like that. Too.
He mainly just had the wound to his eye, and the same wound to the dragon's eye.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't quite remember who that would have been.
I'm curious. Just you don't need to say it. Does Toughnuts know?
What am I trying to know? Sorry. I was taking notes.
You're good. Adarag, what are you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out the. So you said it was something that I got pricked with it, and then
you said that. First off.
Well, you said that I got.
You said you walked into it, got pricked by it because it's covered in these needles, and you fell backwards. And I said, "Oh, interesting. Okay, roll." And you rolled successfully, and you noticed that the wound you got from walking into one of its needles was very similar to a wound you've seen recently.
Wound I've seen recently.
I'm curious if you guys knew. That's why he thought it was Atlas, but it's not. No?
Frankie? Hopkins?
Frankie's fine. Hopkins is sick.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who I would have. Never mind. I
don't remember either.
I don't want to take up too much time thinking about it.
Carry on.
I'm
See,
going
the willow
to...
tree lays ahead of you.
Is the willow tree the swamp dragon?
You know what's funny? Chat said the same thing. They're like, this reminds me of a hill in the swamp.
Yeah, that's exactly what I started thinking of, and I was like, oh,
Chat
crap.
said the same thing. They're like,
why did you put Adarag in this situation? Adarag is going to, realizing this thing is marble, look around for anything.
I'll give you this. You see the willows on the tree blowing in the wind.
Okay, I would like to... So we see it blowing in the wind. Blowing in the wind. Is blowing in the wind a clue?
It's a clue that it's probably not a dragon.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's all I was giving you.
Then I would like to... So I'm off the path right now. I would like to approach it still kind of off path.
You're actually on the path. Well, how?
But how? I would like to turn around and walk 3 steps away from the willow.
You're walking away from the willow?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 steps away.
Okay. You step away from the willow. You turn around. What do you do?
I turn around to see if like the position of the willow has changed.
Okay. Turning around, the path no longer leads towards the willow. It leads to the left.
Where's the willow?
Still dead ahead. You just walk and turn around. Where would it have gone? Where were you? The tree. Maybe it's not the willow that's moving.
I would like to run towards the willow.
On the path or off the path?
I'm not paying attention to the path at all. I'm running towards the willow.
Okay. Not pay. You take your eyes off the willow?
No.
Watch the trees around you? Watch the statue thing you just ran into?
I only watch. I keep the willow trained in my sight.
Okay. You run up to the willow. Standing beneath its boughs, reaching out over you. Boughs, right word? Reaching out over you, dangling down, dancing in the wind.
Okay.
You can feel an aura of just ancient essence here.
I would like to, I guess, inspect this willow, looking for any sorts of markings or characteristic features to it.
I'll give you this. You don't need to roll. It looks like a tree.
Okay. Why do they call it whispering? And he's, I'd say he's at this point in time like touching the tree, like feeling it.
Once again, you feel the wind going by. Boughs. I'm gonna go into that word. Hanging off the tree, dancing in the wind. You hear the wind blows around. You hear that. There's trees bend with the breeze.
While he's here making contact with the tree, Bjorn said to be collecting bark from this tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He would like to. Adarag would like to look for some pieces of bark that look like they're about to fall off, and just kind of like take only what he guesses he needs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll survival standard.
Yeah.
Okay. You pull out your knife and kind of carve off a good little section. You've got a section about yay big with bark. Bit. Stored in your bag or something?
Yeah, tossing it in my bag.
What would you like to do?
I would like to, from the tree, look out and see, like, if I see anything changing about the environment around
Absolutely.
me.
You immediately see trees walking around.
Ah!
Seems the willow wasn't moving, the path was.
Ah.
As you see trees as twigs snap and trees moving around in this weird ethereal area.
Okay. Do they seem hostile at the moment? Or do they just look like they're...
Seems like they're moving,
marching,
stretching, setting themselves down. Seems someone's been making some noise and woke them up.
Okay. Do I see the glitch that I came through to get here?
Yeah, it's through the trees. Same way you came from.
Okay. I would like to, with the bark in hand, do I need to do anything else here, or is it just getting the bark? I think it was just getting the bark.
Sounds good.
So I think I'm going to stealthily, as possible. So I'm going to stealthily move towards the glitch and keeping my focus mainly on the glitch.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth. 2 tiers easier, so I believe it should be easy.
Okay.
You move along. You see the trees turn. Some of them have like faces embedded in the wood as they kind of turn, look at you as you walk by. Kind of a bunch of them just kind of eyeing you, and then continuing on about their way. These ones don't look like the blight you captured in the net. Only one that looks somewhat similar is that one that was petrified. All these ones seem like trees, moving about, doing their thing.
Maybe these were the original twig creatures.
Pass by the glitch again.
Yep, going through the glitch.
Find yourself back. Same glade, same broken statue, same blown out trees.
Okay. From here, stealthily as possible, now that I'm out of the tree maze, I would like to, as stealthily as I can, try to get first back to the path to go find Bjoern again.
Okay. Adarag makes his way back to the path, back south towards the glade to find Bjoern. Meanwhile, Toughnuts. Gnimwirt, you're in a situation as this is climbing on the wall towards you. What do you do?
So, question.
Right.
The path that I came from that led up to Hobbs Lodge,
We'll
is
say
that
it's
like off to the...
We'll say it's that path.
Oh, okay, so I'm standing up there and
We'll
this
say
thing's
yeah.
like
We'll
standing down
say
here.
you're standing right up the edge here, and it's climbing on this wall towards you.
Okay. So my stealth has clearly failed. Does it look like it sees me for sure, or is it just moving without purpose?
It was standing there staring in your direction and then crawled up onto the wall towards you. That's what you know so far. You could scrutinize it.
Sure, I'll try to understand if it's coming for me.
Okay.
Does it want my booty?
Most people do.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
No clue.
Okay.
But as it moves closer, based off that, you can tell this thing stands maybe as tall as Grunkle.
Okay. I'm going to run back towards the path that I came from.
As you turn and go and run, you hear a chittering, a faint light from the creature behind you. It sounds... You're not sure. You can roll awareness if you want to learn more.
He just wants a hug.
Or I'll allow you this. You can either roll awareness to stop and perceive what you just heard, or you can roll athletics to see if you can beat it to that tunnel. One or the other.
Okay, I'll do awareness.
Okay. Gnimwirt's curiosity gets the better of him. Remember when he was worried his friend was going to be the one who died? 27 out of 52, success. This thing sounds weak. It sounds in a weakened state. Its breath is raspy. It's possible. It sounds very similar to the same raspy breath you just heard from Kyler.
Okay.
And with that awareness check, you've stopped. The tunnel's ahead of you. Off to the left, you see very familiar clothes. A set of clothes just kind of crumpled up, thrown on the ground. Except these clothes, the like tunic top has bloodstains on it. These are the same clothes you've seen Liliana wearing.
Okay. I'm gonna turn and stand my ground to this thing as it's approaching me. And I'm just gonna confidently yell, Liliana, stop.
Jeez. You see the creature gets to the end of the wall and pauses, and then slowly kind of slinks in a weird acrobatic form off the wall and stands up in front of you, now basically at the top of these stairs, looking at you by the tunnel. Standing up to full height. Very scrawny, not nearly as big as Grunkle, very slender, very scrawny. Just about as tall. Almost as tall, just about. Stands looming over you. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to reason. And my hands are up in a I'm not here to hurt anything or anyone. Listen, I'm here to help the people of the town. And I'll see if it reacts in any way.
See, basically like a dog, cocks its head sideways. Eyes
And
kind
then-
of weirdly like it's got two eyelids, and like at different times they're shutting and opening.
I'm slowly gonna reach down for my pack. And I'm gonna pull out the smelling salts.
Okay. Not what I was expecting at all.
Gonna have to change the name of the episode to Smelling Salts.
Yeah, dude, this is the item of the day.
And I'm going to
Today's episode is sponsored by.
I'm gonna slowly hold it towards the creature. I'm way shorter than this creature, obviously, so it's like just
It doesn't quite have the, yeah, you're basically coming up to its kneecap. Well, maybe thighs, maybe, yeah, kneecap, thighs. It's just looking kind of down towards you. It doesn't come closer, it doesn't bend down or anything. Kind of just cocking its head, looking at you.
okay. I'm gonna keep like talking to keep this thing's like focus, but while I'm doing it, I'm gonna be like looking past it to see if I see any glowing moss.
Okay, and what are you saying?
I brought this for you. I think it might help you feel better. You seem like you're struggling down here, and I want to help.
Okay. Roll an awareness check. I know it's awarenesses and smelling salts. That's the name of the episode. 42 out of 52, that's a success. You do not see any bioluminescent moss, but you do notice the creature looks down at the smelling salts, looks at you, and almost gives you a It's a weird creature. Facial expression is completely different. But you could swear it almost just gave you a look like, what the fuck?
Okay. I'm taking notes, sorry.
That is nothing to apologize for, man. Its tail swishes back and forth as it kind of takes one more step closer to you.
Okay. I'm going to as it steps closer to me, I'll step back cautiously, still focused on it with my hands up to not seem threatening.
A light cough escapes its see blood kind of trailing out of its mouth as it coughs, still eyeing you.
Okay. I'm going to what?
I forgot the one other symptom of the cold.
Oh.
It quickly puts its hands over its crotch. Oh!
Yeah, it's right up my face.
Oh, gust of wind blows past you. Your wind wicks in the breeze. Your wind. Your hair. Never mind.
You know, the thing.
The thing. Never mind.
Okay. Desperate for some sort of solution, I'm gonna say, have you seen Liliana? I knew you used to come down here to get moonlit moss.
Yeah.
Have you seen that down here?
Creature once again kind of takes a step back, looks down at you, cocks its head. You're not sure you can't read this thing. You're not even sure what it is. And it'll turn and ever so gracefully walk down the steps, leaving you in the tunnel. What do you do?
Could I tell if it... I'm gonna follow it.
Okay.
I'm slowly following it and focused on it.
You follow, the tail switches from side to side. Almost, it walks. I might get canceled for this. It walks like a girl who's trying to be fucking hot, and she like swings her ass from side to side, like really popping it out. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Like the legs are crossing.
Oh yeah, dude. Like she's throwing that ass for like cheek, left cheek, right cheek, like working it. You know what I mean? You know what they do. You guys know what you do. We appreciate it. Tiger. Tiger likes men.
Gnimwirt strips naked. No.
Tiger. So this thing's walking. You can see its tail swishing, and it's moving down the tunnels, and it goes down a tunnel. Do you continue following?
Okay. As I'm following, is her or this creature's like, does it look like she's going somewhere intentionally? Does it look like she's trying to she's like running away from me?
You saw this thing move when it was coming towards you, which didn't look like it was running, but it was moving along the wall, yeah. And then you've seen it like doing this walk thing. This is a new creature. It doesn't resemble any animal or any person you've ever met.
Okay.
Probably not a run. If it's a run, this thing doesn't move very fast.
Okay, and as I'm going, I don't see any moss.
No. I will give you this. You're passing bioluminescent stuff, for sure. Things are lit, things are lit, fam. Things are, bioluminescent, they're glowing in the dark. But doesn't look like moss per se. like mushrooms, vines, different stuff.
Okay. Okay. As I'm going, I'm gonna pull out my bag of now probably like rotting potato wedges.
I saw those in your inventory. I was curious. Yeah.
And I'm gonna start breaking off pieces of them and dropping them as I follow her, just every once in a while.
God, I love you two. You two are great fucking players. Let me just say that once more. That's a great idea. You're amazing. And you continue following her down the tunnel.
Yeah.
She's like broken off out of the main like ruin areas and seems to be heading down like this weird, darker, smaller tunnel. You follow her for a ways, still walking, kind of almost gliding across the ground. This creature seems to have a fluid movement to it as it continues striding and eventually turns another corner and is out of view. But you can tell, like, turns to the left out of view. You can tell there's a glow coming from, like, there's a light coming from that left side around the corner.
Okay. I'll pull out my dark oculars to try and identify what I'm specifically looking for, and I'll just peer around the corner.
Okay. Peering around the corner, you see the creature standing there, looking down at you. You peeking your head around with these big ass like tubes on your face. The creature once again kind of turns its head to the side, giving you a what the fuck look as you see kind of riddled crack in the wall, just a light trail of liquid draining down across the wall, and a trail of moss kind of gliding down this little section as well that's very bioluminescent. It kind of looks over to the moss and looks back to you.
Okay. I'm going to nod at the creature in thanks. And watching the creature, I'm going to slowly take a step towards the moss, and I'm going to stop there and see how the creature reacts. If they're just watching me or if they look defensive.
Seems to just be watching you.
Okay.
Observing.
And then for a second, I'm going to look away from the creature towards the moss, and I'm going to try to identify any other hazards or dangers between me and this crack.
You don't seem to see any. It seems like just a crack where like liquids running down the wall like in a small like little trickle.
Okay. All right. I'm going to approach that wall. And I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to take some of the moss and gather it up and put it in my pack.
Being able to do so, you scoop some up. Yeah. Seems relatively dry, maybe slightly damp, but it was fun.
Okay.
Second thing,
I'm going to pull out the scale, the monster scale. And I'm going to let the liquid run over the scale. Just to see if anything happens.
The only thing you notice happen is you hold out the scale, the water drips down from the ceiling, running down the wall. Press the scale up against the wall so the water kind of trickles around it. You hear a the creature behind you goes on the wall, on the ceiling, and runs down the tunnel away from you.
Okay. Okay, with that, I'm gonna put the scale back and pack up my pack, and I'm gonna start following my potato wedges.
My potato wedges.
Maybe the Luigi's.
As Gnimwirt follows his potato wedges back up the tunnel, leading him back out into the ruin, he's able to follow the path and up the steps and find the tunnel that he originally climbed down. I'm assuming heading back out into Hobbs Lodge.
Yep.
And with that, this is where we're going to wrap up this episode. This has been King's Crossing, episode 26. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, my players, for being absolutely fucking amazing and never ceasing to blow my mind. We've wrapped up this episode.
I read through my notes. Was it Griff was the one that we saw with the wound?
Griff was the one with wounds.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
I was surprised because you guys just mentioned, you're like, he didn't change his bandages. He's been changing his bandages.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're going to get Bjoern.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. I know.
I had to go back through my notes and
I don't know how.
We've had a lot of content the last couple times.
There's been a lot. This wrapped up this one. Any final thoughts from you guys before we wrap this one up? We're going to have an Under the Table this upcoming Monday, so basically a week from now. We're going to have an Under the Table. I know Toughnuts isn't genuinely able to make that time slot, unfortunately. Any closing thoughts from you gentlemen before we wrap this up now?
that was some good puzzle play. I enjoyed that.
You did?
Yeah.
The other group also had puzzle play, and Grunkle loved it. Torvek didn't.
I actually, I really struggled with mine at first, obviously, and which hopefully that wasn't too frustrating to DM, but...
No, you're good. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, okay, it's... Liliana is the one who had it. Liliana is the one who lives there. Liliana is the one you don't see there currently. There's 3 empty cots. I was thinking you would put together 2 of them belong to the other group. There's a 3rd cot back in the corner that's not unoccupied, so I figured I was like...
the reason I didn't connect the 3 was because Grunkle, Torvekik, and Wilfer, right?
But Wilfer's new to town, and he doesn't live there.
So I missed that detail, which made me lose the go look at the other cot thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that.
Because in my mind, I was like, I had searched for the whole lodge, and downstairs...
Every time you were searching for extra rooms, you went upstairs. And you're like, I searched for extra rooms. And I was like, you've searched this floor, you didn't find any.
Right.
You didn't search for extra rooms downstairs. And that's what I was like,
but downstairs, the way I pictured that room was just like a 10 by 10 mud box.
Basically.
There's nothing.
Yep.
So...
You're right. Basically.
I looked at the ceilings, I looked under stuff, I thought I had searched, but I just didn't get it right. So once I had that, I love the puzzles. But
that
was terrifying.
Was it?
Both of those scenarios were terrifying.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was perfect.
Good.
And we're gonna go to the other player now.
And the other one.
Yeah.
I since I don't usually get to make the under the tables, I will say I think the last 2 episodes that we've been a part of, the voyage with the sea monster and then this one, they've felt like better pace to me. Because I think in the past our team has gotten caught up with just staying in the city for too long and trudging through just tons of information. We spent 3 hours trying to understand story, which I like, but I like I feel like there's more happening in these episodes and it keeps it more interesting. So you've done a really good job.
Thanks, man. I don't take credit for how great these I was telling Adaece during the break, during the 10-minute break we took, I was telling Adaece, I was like, for about, 30 minutes of the intro, I was just sitting here listening to you two go back and forth. I didn't say anything. I was just like, wow. It was just such great role play from the 2 of you that I was just sitting here going, man, I wonder what happens next, chat. This is so great. That we get to sit here and watch this live. I don't know. It was fun. So I don't take credit for it. I mean, I've written the game and like technically, yeah, I've made all this, but I think, I mean, I can throw paint against the wall, but the thing that makes it a masterpiece is you guys coming in and creating something from it. You know, it's amazing what you guys have done with this session, and little things like, this didn't add up to what you thought it would, but little things like putting the scale against the wall. I realized what you're doing. You were, you know, adding the water back to it and stuff. And I was like, that's fucking genius. And I was sitting here and I was like when you said that, I was like, that's amazing. Like, I should do something with that. I mean, technically nothing really happens, but that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I'm just trying things.
No, it was great. Like, I was sitting here, I was like, that's amazing. Like, the fact that you would even think of that, that's a great idea. But
Gnimwirt as a character has forced me to think in ways that I normally wouldn't with D&D. Because I can't do combat. So, like, the thought crossed my mind, it's like, I could use the Ichor on my dagger, or, like, on a crossbow, and just pray to God that I kill this thing in one hit. Or, like, you know, like, I could try these things, but I just know that I won't be successful, so I'm forced to try something else. And it's intimidating and difficult, but I think that's what kind of makes those unique and interesting ideas that I normally wouldn't think of. And I think Adarag's similar. Like, we have certain disadvantages, so we're forced to try and look for other things, which makes these characters really interesting and unique.
It is very interesting DMing for these characters. I've talked about this multiple times, the difference between your two groups. The other group's like, combat! I'll give you this. Grunkle decapitated 2 giant serpents in the last episode. Just, just, you know, and like that's, and he was like, fuck yeah! You guys are like, I'm a blight! Like, very different, like,
gotta play to my strengths.
Yeah. Very different approaches to situations, and it's always just like amazing to see. So a great example of this, and this is all for Under the Table. We'll talk about this in Under the Table as well. The go out to sea, hunt the sea creature was built for the other group. Mm-hmm. The go get these ingredients for the garden to help the town was built for your group. Mm-hmm. Y'all swapped because their group decided to go up there and take your quest before you could start it. And so it was very interesting putting you guys in those situations to where I put them in a very similar situation. Granted, they were doing 2 of their ingredients in 2 different areas with 2 different, you know, things going on. But putting them in situations where they were kind of built encounters for you guys to outthink the situation. That's kind of how I view you guys. I put you in a situation and you think outside the box. You outsmart the DM and come up with a way to get around it. And then with their group, it's a situation that's built for, we're going to fucking might this and power our way through it and dominate it. And having you guys flip-flop was very interesting and very different approaches and outcomes.
Yeah.
Like granted, think if you guys went into the situation Grunkle was in and these 2 serpents are coming at you, your first reaction probably isn't to decapitate them with the giant sword.
Yep. Well, we just can't. Like, it's not an option.
Right, but outsmarting the serpents, not really something Grunkle can do.
Right.
So it's like 2 very different situations, 2 very different approaches. It's interesting from a DM standpoint to see how you guys handle things, and it's, I don't know, you guys never cease to amaze me with what you do. So it's really cool to see.
It doesn't always make a ton of sense. Like dark oculars, like that's pretty dumb. But you know, I have to try. Like, I have to try to think of creative things to use my skills. You know,
yeah.
Like,
I'll rarely ever penalize you for it. What I mainly use that for is you were able to scour all the areas with light still in them and determine it's not here. Yeah. And that was through help with the dark oculars. So I kind of give you things to like, yeah, I understand where you're going with this. I can work with you.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up, the only question I have is for Gnimwirt, and I know you're not going to be there for, or Toughnuts, I should say, because it really goes back to you. You're not going to be there for Under the Table, so this is going to be a little spoiler for everyone in the chat. You don't have to wait till Under the Table to hear this one. Why did you call it Liliana? Because I reacted and Adaece reacted, and we were both like, what? I don't... Wait, hang on. Before you answer that, Adaece, what were your thoughts when you did that?
I thought it was Liliana.
You did too?
I did too, yeah.
Okay, so both of you.
I thought it was Liliana. She had transformed into something. Maybe she had stopped giving her her bounties to this god or something, and she transformed into this other thing.
Huh.
And that's what I was thinking was going on. And
wow.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking.
What about her clothes being all bloodied, ripped off by the entrance?
I thought it was like a part of the sickness, like the sickness, maybe like, because you said like she had the thing had blood dripping down.
Yeah,
so
I never said it was a her. I kept saying it.
Yeah, so
okay.
So I went along the path of
pull up the picture, Raph.
The picture, of course.
Yeah, of the creature.
Also, it has tits.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely has titties.
I will. Well, I can't give you spoilers, but
it's got tits. There's 4 of them.
Okay, so
okay,
ToughNuts, yeah.
Okay. I knew that Liliana had frequently come down here because she had forged for this stuff in the past. So prior to today's events, I knew that, as far as I could tell, this was the only place she could get those things that I had seen in the lodge, and she had her secret door and all that. The clothes,
for anyone watching, just so you know, this is Liliana. For everyone watching, you're aware.
It had tits, Your Honor.
Okay, continue.
So, for the way I saw it, I was trying to weigh my options of like, what could I do with this thing? Because for all I knew, it could have ran up to me and, killed me on the spot. So I had to gamble. I started running because that seemed like one of the only options for me to escape, because fighting it wasn't going to be an option. And at that point, I hadn't done an awareness of it sounding similar to the sick people, bleeding from the face. I hadn't seen the bloody clothes, so there was no connections there yet. And so my mind was still on, this thing's a creature that's lurking down here, it's going to kill me. So I ran.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I realized all those details, I thought one of two things. One, I had stopped, so escape was kind of no longer an option. And so my mind thought, well, I can either try to distract it long enough to stab it with the ichor, because that's probably like my only chance of killing it, or I can gamble, and either it had killed Liliana and bloodied her clothes, or it was Liliana that she bled on. When you were describing the clothes, I was kind of hoping you would say like they were like torn, almost like Incredible Hulk type of style, where like you could tell the thing had grown and the clothes had like torn off type of thing.
Oh no.
You didn't say that, but I still just like thought maybe it was possible that this thing was her. And
that I was. A lot of times you guys come up with stuff and I roll with it and I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. And then you called this thing Liliana and I was sitting here going, what? It was just.
I thought he was onto something.
I was so
like,
shocked.
Yes.
It's a great idea. I see where you're coming from now. At the time, I was like, did you just name it after her? Like, I was trying to figure out like what happened.
So it seems. Can I ask now that that's past? Like, it seems like you're saying this thing is not Liliana.
I'm not going to tell you either way because this thing still lives underneath Hobbs Lodge apparently, and you guys haven't investigated enough. So I'm not going to tell you anything about this creature. All you know about this creature is either what you've seen or what you've, what conclusions you've come to.
Okay.
Or it now remember, Tough Nuts, it might also be a case of the cellar door near Elder Elaine's house where we just stumbled on something that was not supposed to be told until much later on.
You never know.
I mean,
You never know.
it seems like I was supposed to go down here because I had to get the moss.
But were you supposed to figure out it was Liliana?
I don't
Maybe
know.
that's my secret.
It seems like Wrath is so surprised by the concept that it probably isn't. But
It was a great moment.
I am curious why it stopped though. I don't get that. Like if it wasn't Liliana,
it might be something that's aiding her because
or you spoke.
Oh.
Maybe this creature understands. Like, oh. Speak a language.
Okay, so here's where my mind also was going. I also severely was like wondering if ye should be checking for a lost scale.
If this was the creature.
If this was the creature that was hitting the boat, and and the creature was actually Liliana, and Liliana had transferred back into like a sea monster sort of thing.
Oh.
I was like, there was red string and buttons going everywhere.
Didn't check for a scale though. We'll get to Adarag's situation during Under the Table because you'll probably be there for it, right?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, then we'll handle that during Under the Table. You guys got a glimpse into Toughnuts' mind and kind of why he does the things he does and his,
a very confusing, weird mind.
Thoughts into this.
Toughnuts.
But anyways, that's it for King's Crossing. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 26. Thank you for sticking through it with us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We will see you in the next video. Later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Pickles reminded me of my old, I used to go I think it was like a I think it was something like that, and I would be like it used to be like my outro to all my videos.
I remember that.
You remember that? I was like,
yeah.
I still do a similar. I'm like, I'll see you in the next video later. Like, it's very similar, but Pickles brought it up the other day, and he was like, yeah, you're and what's funny is back in the day, people used to, back when I had viewers and I was a real streamer and had, 30 viewers and whatnot, people would mimic me and they would send me videos of them all doing it. Like, doing my outro with me, like them watching my video and doing my outro with me. And I was like, that's so cool. Maybe I should bring back something like that, because now I just go, see you later. It's not really something cool that people can mimic.
Adios, fucks.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, cheers, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
No, sorry. What was it? No, it's Toughnuts. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what would you call this episode? We were all over the place.
What did
Smelling
I call this episode? Smelling Salt's a good one. I called it The Morning After.
Morning After.
Yeah, which is technically, I think, a sex reference.
Oh.
Did you take the morning after pill? Yeah.
Yep.
But it's like the morning after. It doesn't really apply because it's really you guys coming back to town. So it's like the morning after your big adventure on the ocean. But I'm probably going to change the name. So whatever you guys see on YouTube, that's the name that I came up with. What would you guys call it?
That's what I'm trying to decide. Usually I have some witty name, but we were all over the place on this one.
Smelling salts were definitely thrown in everyone's face. Sickness was thrown around. Fetch quest. The queef continues.
This is totally stealing from Lord of the Rings, but I feel like the breaking of the fellowship, because we all went separate ways.
Oh, yeah, all parties. Kind of a good one. Yeah, all parties. Yeah.
Which is very unique. Like, that's never happened.
Hey, gang, let's split up. I don't know, is that Scooby-Doo?
My interaction, or my, my reaction to that immediately was like, no, let's stick together.
I know, you did. The other group tried to do, the Pickles was like, oh, no, I go with Torvekik. And I was like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Sorry, bud.
I split the party. Wait, why?
Yeah, it was a matter of time's running out, and I wanted each of you to go off on your own little quests. That and Shifty wasn't available for his session, so certain things happened to Shifty that we're going to have to get into as well. Learn more about that and under the table, maybe. But that's it from us. Once again, we'll see you next time. Later.
Ladle.
Ladle.